Well, maybe it's called Big Box Monday. So, what do we got? Something that I've been after. A backman item. Not what you're going to see first thing in the box, but I had to remove the address. I would say an expensive backman item, but then all items that backman go are expensive relative to what it is. I can't get it out of the friggin' box. Doesn't weigh a lot. It is the Wroxham signal box in the other side of Norfolk to me. The RRP on this is a eye-watering £59. Most model shops do it for less than that, but we're still talking the wrong side of £40 for a resin model. Now, I did get the local Downham Market one not so long ago. This wasn't quite as cheap as that one, but I did get this for what the last one sold, which was £33, which is still an eye-watering amount. But because it has local connection, I guess I was prepared to swallow it. So we'll have a look at that in a minute. But while I purchased it, actually it was from a local seller, so the post has been fairly quick. He had some Oxford Diecast lorries. Now, admittedly the trucks themselves are a bit modern for me, but I do have some I can swap them with. The reason I wanted them is they are, a couple of them are the skellies for shipping containers. So I shall be on the hunt for some earlier period trucks. I have got a few, but not enough to replace all of these. So these are, there's a DAF XF, I think, and the other one is another DAF. I think there's an R series Scania lurking somewhere. That's a Volvo. They all look the same, the modern lorry. A Mercedes, less said about Mercedes trucks the better. And must be a limited edition one, it's in a big crate. A Corgi one. Oh, that's an Oxford as well. What is this? Drysdale's Freight. It's actually a reefer lorry. That's a Scania, I think that's an R series. I'm not up with the modern lorries. So we've got, and you don't see many of them about nowadays, flatbed trailers. Everything's in boxes and curtain side now over here. So that will be handy actually if I can marry it up to an earlier lorry. I'm guessing that's the Mercedes Actros or whatever it's called. And another one there, so probably some earlier Volvos. I think they do an FH, although my period would be an FL. And the old DAFs. So yeah, they were handy, and I got them for £10 each. Which, if I go to toy and train fairs, these are usually marked up at any. You're lucky if you can find one for 18, put it that way. They're generally 20, 22, keep going upwards. Hence I don't tend to get many. So that one I'll keep, probably just swap out the lorry and keep it, just so should at some time, I doubt if these are really worth much, these so-called limited edition whatever. Number 1068 of 2000. So yeah, that was the find, and we'll have a look at the little signal box, make sure that's all in one piece. So, well, I wouldn't say it's intact, but the usual thing with these, some of them have a separate detail to glue. Obviously this is second hand, so the little sort of kick out from the gutter there is missing on that side, and there's one there for the toilet. They generally seem to be a casualty with these. So I will be in need of some 3D printed lever frames, I think, or some other detailing to put in this. It comes with a little raised concrete plinth for the steps, and obviously, as you can see, a removable roof. They aren't drilled through, so I will at some stage have to drill through the base so I can put a little light in there, hence the old maybe one or two of those. The chimney's still on the roof, which is quite surprising. Yeah, I believe the actual box is in present. There's like a heritage group or trust, so that no matter what happens to the railway in future, the signal box is in some kind of trust to save it for future generations. A few of them are around the country are being taken care of by funds. So that will be another one for the layout. I do have I think I have an old existing box, I'm not sure. And I've got 2 ratio ones to build, a Nightwing one. So there'll be quite a few signal boxes, but then back in the day they were quite numerous. Well, the first one turned up today, but you missed it. I've already been playing with it. It was a Hereford Pills grain wagon. Sorry Mick, no more Hereford. It has been sanitised with some IPA and a lot of elbow grease to remove the blue and yellow decal and paintwork, so that I can spray it at a later date. As the ends, they just clip out. We did have a slight casualty. One of the little pegs snapped the tip off and disappeared somewhere up there. As you can tell, the paint comes off. So I'm going to strip that, well, have stripped it down. I'm missing one buffer, so I need to find, create, print or something, one of those. Probably something in the spares bin that will suffice. So that's going to get repurposed into a grain flow at an eventual date. Obviously until I get everything set up spray wise, so I'm just going to bag this up. It was just one of them things, you know, pick it up and start it, and then before you know it, you're too far, just pack it away. And I have got 1 or 2 others to do, so I now know how I want to do it without sanding it and damaging it. Will work. So the next one out should be, what is this, foot plate of Kidderminster. I think last time I ordered something off of them it was all cancelled. So I can't remember what these were. I think they worked out about £4 each. These are containers, as you can probably tell, but they won't look very English because they're not. Yeah, 25 quid for the lot, including the shipping, which was about £5 worth. So we have some more, I think these are 48 foot. Yeah, 48 foot, probably Walthers I'm guessing. Those 2 are. Containers for the intermodal trains. Husky stack cars, I've got a couple more, so I need some more. I've got some coming from China, brand new ones, because they're cheaper. There's a guy wanting, he's got 6 of these advertised, and he wants £55 plus shipping, so 60 quid. These are around £10 new, so why would you pay that second hand. Conquest. There is one that's, I guess it's Santa Fe, so that's a bit long in the tooth, isn't it? But I'm sure I can put another label over it or something. But the other ones I got coming are plain ones, and then a couple of JB Hunts, I think. So they will do for the American Intermodal trains or the yard. But these were considerably cheaper than what they're not cheap new, or to buy them retail from the UK, being as they're HO. But I did think about trying to put some magnets in them so that the roof of one attracts to the base of the other, just to give them a bit more stability, or getting those magnetic tapes, the strip stuff. Right, we're on again. So nicely packed, actually. They're on offer. I think they were about £20 plus shipping, so 25. These are 53 foot plain shipping containers. I got plain so I can paint them myself. You can see remarkably like the Walthers ones, but a lot cheaper. These are HO, by the way. You get the separately fitted locking bars for the rear doors. So there's, what was it, 10 of those, or 9 of those. You can get various branded ones, they do. They're a little bit more, well, quite a bit more money, but as you probably know, looking at them, they're not all branded. I have got some transfers for some other ones off a C-rail, so they will basically suffice. This was from the same supplier as Intermodal or Everest, depending on what trading name they use. These are JB Hunt, which again is American, 53 foot. They do 40 footers as well, and 48s. And these worked out about £10 each. You can see they, it focuses, separately fitted handrails, not the moulded ones. Come in a little sleeve. As you can see, there's just a mishmash here. These are just heat sensors for my diesel heater. As I went down the shed the other week, and well, I wasn't going into my train shed slash brewery, I could hear a noise. So I was just going down there for something else in one of the other sheds, and I could hear something running. And I thought, there shouldn't be nothing on. I've only got my heater, which is a tube, so it don't make any noise, and it wasn't cold enough for that to get in. So I went back in the house, got my keys, undone the door, and the diesel heater's running. It wasn't heating, it was just the fan on its cooling down phase. They blow air through them until they cool down so that they don't overheat the motherboard. And for some reason this sensor, hopefully it's just this sensor and not the actual main board, was detecting that the system was hot. It was my fault because I'd left the ready power on, but I hadn't been down there since I filmed that 1.5 hour testing video of the new stock, so I don't know how long that fan has been running, because I hadn't been down there for a week and a half, if not 10 days. So yeah, it was still running. I couldn't get it fixed, so I think it's one of these. If not, it's more expensive. So I bought another. They crammed them in a bit of a small box, but then they are wire, so they've got to be fluffed out like the other one I done, which I still haven't done anything with, so you know, they're squashed for transport. I don't know whether to get some of that Liquitex or something to paint them with, which is flexible. So again, it's just a couple of these. They were £7.53 to my door for these, which look a bit sad at the minute, but then they are just these ones took a little bit more of a hammering than normal, but nothing, you know. You do have to spend about, I don't know, 10-15 minutes bringing them all out. shaping them into a tree and then getting on with them. So obviously again it's another one of those scenarios where I've got them but I can't really do much with them, because while I like this I can store them in a box. If I go and make them into a tree I suddenly have to store them in a much larger box, and then they get damaged while they're in storage. So that's it for now.